And I'm Mason Morales, and we are your unqualified heroes.
Yes, we are. And today is episode 10. We have reached double digits of this season, and we're going to talk about the craziness that's happened with Star Wars The Acolyte. We're going to talk about House of Dragons, and we're also going to talk about some news that's going on. But before that, I'm going to put our plug here in the beginning rather than the end. That way, if you don't make it to the end, well, you suck. But at least you know where to find us and where you could tell your friends to find us. Right there, at Unqualified Heroes on Instagram, on YouTube, and you can like our shorts. We're posting shorts, we're posting reels. We're getting fan engagement to talk about questions that we got with shows, to talk about theories and just stuff about whether you like what's going on, whether you don't. Because let me tell you, I posted a Star Wars video, and I don't know if some of you guys are listening, and if you commented, or if you didn't, but if you haven't seen the video, go check it out, and just look at if you just want to be entertained at the, I guess, state of our world, and what people say, keyboard warriors, just go ahead and look at that comment section, because we had some very interesting comments, Messi.
A lot of very interesting comments. A lot of very interesting comments. To the point
where I was like, is this what people actually waste their time on?
But hey, if you're gonna waste time, waste time on
our posts. If you're gonna waste time on our posts. So
I have no complaint. I was like, oh my god, I'm getting notifications on my phone. And I read and I check what it is. It's like, oh, never mind. It's just comments on
people going off on
Donnie's. Yeah, literally, people just arguing. There's a guy fighting with another guy about grammar. It wasn't even about the post.
It was about grammar. Oh
but
my god!
It was a good video. It was a good video.
We got some engagement. If you haven't checked it out, check it out, and you can put your own 2 cents on the actual video, not argue with people. But as far as that goes, we do have a couple pieces of news before we get into our shows. So, Messi, you can go to the DC side or the Marvel side, up to you.
Let's go with the D side. This is something that I think is kind of absurd. I don't know why they're doing it. I think they should have just let it die it out and then just don't give hope. Because honestly, by doing this, is giving hope to those people who think that Zack Snyder is gonna come back and do 2 and 3. So the news is that apparently they're doing what is it called? The theatrical release of the Zack Snyder Justice League movie. Again, because it came out in theaters when it came out the first time, but they're doing it again. There's no date for it. There's no purpose for it. But it's happening. It's happening, and it's confirmed. Zack Snyder himself put it on his socials. He doesn't have Twitter. He has some weird app. I don't know what it is. That shows that he's excited. He's saying we made it or something crap like that. He said, "Want to see Zack Snyder Justice League on the big screen? Stay tuned for a date." So it's coming. It's coming. I don't know why. But it is. I mean, it's just that couple years or two.
It's literally the dumbest thing ever. If you were going to do this, you should have done this before. You should have done this before when it first came out. Maybe not when it first came out, because that was whole COVID stuff. But shortly after it first came out. Before James Gunn got announced for this new DC. To spearhead his new DC. Because now you got a lot of Superman photos and all this stuff coming out of his world, Creature Commandos, his stuff, and then now you're gonna go ahead and put this in the theaters? Why? What are you doing? They just want to make more money because that's what everyone else is doing, re-releasing stuff in the theaters, and we've talked about this multiple times on the podcast, but it seems like that's what they're doing.
Just like freaking Sony did with all the Spider-Man movies, just put them back in theaters to obviously to get some money back, because they release some projects, no names, that bomb.
Do you think now that I'm thinking about this, you remember a long time ago when they made the Dark Side is Coming post, whatever it was, and we were like, what is Zack Snyder posting? It was it wasn't like that long ago, but it was a couple months ago, and we were trying to figure out what it was. I wonder if that was this, and it just, I mean, maybe it's not correlated, but it was a long time ago that he posted. It was like super cryptic, and at the very end it said "Dark Side is Coming" or whatever it was. Could have just been could have just been the movie being re-released.
I don't remember that. I'm looking here online right now to see if there's like a post or something that
You don't
he
remember? You
said.
made a reaction video about it. You were like,
I
"What's
did.
going on?" Yeah.
Hey, look at that. It's so pointless. It's so freaking pointless that I've even forgot. Like I
And
don't
technically,
understand.
this is the second time it's being released because the first time it got released in black and white, not in theaters, but it got released in black and white.
Yeah.
Now we're releasing again, but this time in theaters. Whatever. Pointless, like you said. But here is what could potentially not be pointless. Marvel Studios is coming back to Hall H after skipping last year and the year before, being potentially disappointed, potentially excited with all the news. Then again, we did get Secret Wars and all this stuff, but
Honestly,
I expect to be a lot of changes in the calendar.
yes, but are you excited? Are you even slightly happy or like do you get goosebumps by this news of Disney or just to be more specific, the MCU coming back to Hall H and Comic Con this a couple
I'm
of
not
year? Like,
I'm not
are you,
excited for it, but I just want to see. It's not like, oh my gosh, I gotta see this. But now it's just like, okay, so what are they gonna do? I'm curious, not excited. It's more like curiosity than excitement. It's like, okay, what are they gonna do with King? What are they gonna do with
the,
the shows
anything
that they're
moving
not gonna
forward?
release? Yeah, what are
Because
they
I
gonna?
remember,
What does
I
their calendar
remember,
actually look like?
I remember the last time that we saw, you and I, we sat down here in the very podcast that we're talking right now and reacted live to every single project that was announced that day. And out of all those projects, we got Ant-Man, Black Panther, She-Hulk, and I don't think any other more. Probably like Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't remember. But like my point was like they announced so many projects that we got so little of that roster that they announced that day.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they come in and they make a big deal about every single project that they announced 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? It was 2 years ago, right?
Is
Something
it
like
two or
that.
three?
If they come in and they expect us to be excited again for every single project that they announced already, they I don't know. It's why. This is another why thing of what are they doing. And again, I guess curiosity, cute. I can't even speak.
Curiosity.
There you go. Is just gonna be the key point for me to be an
Yeah.
alert for everything that they can announce that day. Because obviously we're not
I
going.
expect I
So.
expect there to be a calendar with less projects and bigger titles, because that's apparently been the whole rumors of, okay, we're gonna do less stuff, we're gonna do bigger things type of stuff, because what they've been doing has not been working. So
Yeah, but
I
like
expect to be bigger
if
bigger
if,
titles,
if you're
less
if you're
projects.
expecting big projects, what are they gonna do with all the projects that they announced that has some? Sorry, they haven't come out
Scrap
yet.
'em.
Like what?
It's
All
not
of
like
them?
it's not like they
Thunderbolts.
have done anything on.
Thunderbolts,
Not
scrap.
Thunderbolts. That's
Blade,
already
scrap.
basically done.
Captain America, scrap. Like you know what I mean? Like all these projects that they've been working on and keep pushing back. Like they have to show trailers.
Well,
They have to. They have if they don't show trailers or something, show at least like a teaser or a clip or something for all those projects that have been
I
waiting
think
for
they're
like over
definitely
2
going to show a
years.
Thunderbolts trailer. I think a Thunderbolts and a Daredevil trailer are coming out.
Are they even filming for those? I have no idea. I mean, yeah, for Daredevil they are. Thunderbolt, did they start filming
they've already filmed. Yeah.
Okay.
They've either finished filming or they're still filming, but they definitely started.
We'll see.
Here's what's interesting. Because we got confirmation from Doctor Strange himself. They're starting filming Avengers 5 next year. Meaning Avengers 5 could potentially release in 2026. Potentially. Depending on when they're starting filming of this movie will depend on when it releases. But potentially 2026. What? We can't have an Avengers movie yet. There's nothing to build on.
There's nothing. Like, who's the threat? Who's the big bad? Who is it? Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Kang? Kang is cook. Kang is cook.
Cooked.
Who you gonna call? Dr. Doom?
We haven't even seen him.
Exactly. So, like, who is the big bad? Ultron again? Are they gonna do another version of Ultron? Like,
that's what we're
Thanos, rose from the dead.
That's what we're gonna have to find out during Hall H.
Okay, we'll find out that day. Is there a date? Is there a date yet? I have no idea. I haven't been attention to
date.
that.
Well, I mean, there might be a date for Hall H, but I don't know what the date is.
We'll find out soon.
We'll find it. All right.
We'll find out.
I want to talk about Star Wars first, because the third episode was, I mean, not the third episode. The fifth episode was crazy. But the sixth episode, I just want to go into the sixth episode first. I don't usually go in reverse order, but I feel like I have to go into reverse order because I only have one thing to say about the sixth episode. I literally have one thing I wrote down in my notes, besides the fact that it just completely went downhill with all the other episodes, with the exception of 1 and 5. 1 and 5 were good, everything else is trash. And I thought, hey, maybe we might actually go back to having good episodes again after episode 5. Nope, this one was trash too. But I wrote one thing down, which we saw in the trailer, but the more I think about it, the more I actually see it, the more I hate it. The stupid lightsaber whip. I hate it. I hate the idea of it. I hate that it actually happened. And I just hate it.
People were waiting for this hate of a lightsaber, because since when I never seen it. I never seen a freaking whip on TV shows, cartoon.
There's no canon. There's no canon to a lightsaber whip.
Why? Okay, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Come on, a lightsaber whip?
No. Sometimes cool is not a good enough reason. That's literally all I have to say about episode 5 or episode 6. I have nothing else to say except the lightsaber whip. I don't know if you have anything else to say, but that's it. There's just, 1, it was trash, and 2, I hate the lightsaber whip, which also plays into the fact that it was trash.
Episode 6. I don't know if you got the same vibe that I did, but Kumir, is that a Kimir, something like that, the bad guy?
The bad guy?
Yeah, the bad guy.
Yeah.
And Osha, they never met ever until that day on episode 2, I believe, that he was in the shop with her, and like she disguised herself as maid. That was like their first interaction. And again, this is like the second interaction here today, episode 6. I don't know if you got it, but there was like this weird sexual tension between them two that I was like,
it's because she saw all of him. She saw all of him, and something changed. Something changed in her mind.
I need his workout plan. That dude is ripped.
Dude is ripped.
That dude is ripped. Okay, so this is not my first time seeing this actor. I've seen him on The Good Place. He was this little side.
I found out he was in Top Gun, the second Top Gun movie. He was one of the guys. Yeah.
I don't remember.
I looked up his thing. I was like, what? He was in Top Gun. I don't remember him, but yeah, he was there.
He was a bot. But on the show that I see him, he was just this like weird, awkward, dorky, dumb character on the
Hmm.
show. But like seeing from this to that, so far, out of all the actors in this show, it goes Soul and him. But this
Hmm.
episode, it just this weird sexual tension between them two. I didn't get it. Like I
It
didn't
was
get.
it was pretty weird.
Like I felt like if I should I turn it off? Did y'all need a room to like because why?
Hey,
Why?
she did not look away one time when he was coming in or going out of the water. She didn't look away.
She didn't look away. We didn't
I
look
get
away
it.
either.
Dude was ripped.
we,
Dude was
we
ripped.
didn't.
No, honestly, it was. I remember texting you when we were watching episode 5, or when I was watching episode 5, and I was like, I literally did this when I was watching episode 5. There was a part where you could see his biceps, and you just saw his biceps, and I was like, this dude is jacked. But I was like,
Dude,
there's
it's
no
like
way.
really marked.
There's
and
no way
everything,
he's
like,
that jacked.
what? I don't.
I reversed.
I got just
I played it back
bumpier.
when I first saw it. I was like, nah, I gotta play it back 10 seconds. I gotta see this again and pause it because I was like, there's no way that's just all his arm. There had to be like armor or nothing. I paused it. Not that's just straight muscle.
If you look
It's
up the
very
videos,
impressive.
like right now, they're because obviously now we know that he's the bad guy. So now they're starting to release like videos of him training for the dueling on last episode, episode 5, and I'm like, what the? I need his meal plan. I need his workout plan. I need everything.
Was he buff in that show that you watched?
He wasn't like this buff. Obviously, he had to train for this, but he
Yeah.
wasn't like way off. I think he was like that guy, like that just random guy that has like
Yeah.
abs in the background, but it's
Yeah.
like, but here he has a way more defined than that show. So I need all his plans.
It was impressive. But
It was
going
very
back to
impressive.
episode 5, while people can hate in the comment section, whatever, you want to hate, you can comment on this video too and hate. But this is just my opinion, is I loved this episode. I came in with super low expectations because the show was already kind of trash.
Okay,
But,
okay. Before you continue, I have a question.
Okay,
Because you said you loved the episode. That's
I did.
what you just said right now.
I did. I love the episode.
And this question that I'm going to ask is very important for the remainder of the words that you're going to say to explain of why you love the episode.
Okay.
Did you love the episode because of the dueling, or did you love the episode because of the acting, or the story, or like the plot of the story, or whatever? You love the action, or the story?
I love the action.
Okay, continue with what you're gonna say.
No one cares about the story. Story's trash. But
Exactly. There you go.
the action,
The action is the only good
let
thing.
me rephrase. I will say, while the story is bad, in my opinion, and I really love the action, I loved the acting from the bad guy, Quamir.
Come here, yeah, something like that.
Quamir. He had a presence in episode 5. He just, like, every line that he delivered was top tier, in my opinion. That I actually really, really liked. His acting was incredible in that scene, and when he was like talking to Soul and stuff. But anyways, this episode, 1, it's the biggest death of Jedi we have seen since Order 66. 2, you saw some brutal deaths. Obviously, you had the quick deaths of the Jedi, all the other Jedi, but then, boom, next snap of freaking the annoying guy that no one cares about. Boom, not just one stab, 3 stabs. We're talking the triple kill right here on one person. Like that was brutal. I was like, damn, we're talking 3 stabs? Hey, yo.
I was kind of
Secondly,
sad when she died. She was.
that was pretty sad. Also,
Yeah.
I know people will talk about, oh, how is a Padawan gonna be this good and put up a fight? You know who was also Padawan? Literally everyone. You know who was also Padawan? Obi-Wan against Darth Maul. He was a Padawan. You know who was also a Padawan? Anakin Skywalker. So stop complaining that a Padawan is good. A Padawan just means that you're not a master yet, but it doesn't mean that you suck. Okay? So people that complain that a Padawan can't be good at fighting, they need to stop. That's my little rant. But also, the mask, I love the mask. It gives me like the movie Alien. I don't know if you remember the movie Alien. Obviously, they're making a new one, and they've made a bunch in the past. But it's just like this creepy smile type of thing.
Yeah.
It's very cool. I love the mask. And it's made out of this special armor, or the special material, which is actually canon. So people that complain about the helmet, they can stop complaining about that too, because it's actually canon. That is the strongest. It's like stronger than Beskar and all this stuff. And we saw that it literally broke the lightsabers. And something that was cool about the choreography was when he broke the lightsabers, it's not like the lightsaber just shut off. You literally saw it like shatter, like sparks come off. That was really cool. The fight scene choreography, I said it in the video if you haven't checked it out. I have not seen a fight scene choreography like this from Disney-owned Star Wars, ever. Disney-owned Star Wars has never done a fight scene choreography. Not Ahsoka versus Anakin in the show, not Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader in the show. Nothing was like this crazy. And it was awesome. And we even saw behind-the-scenes footage of them training for it, and it was really cool.
Bro, Daphne Keane, the girl that plays Jackie, the one that got hold. I don't know if you've seen the videos of her training for the lightsabers.
I haven't seen the ones of her training, just the other guy.
Badass. Like, she is so freaking good. Out of all the Jedi people that I've seen training, her and the guy that plays Khmer, top notch. Like, really good. Like, the way that they move on the practice, and obviously when they were fighting. Yeah. On the episode 5, that was like a good ass fight.
That was a good ass fight.
That was a very, very good fight until she got boop boop boop. But I was very surprised of the dueling on this episode, because like you said, we haven't seen anything really good and good choreography between back and forward on the fighting. There was not too many unnecessary turnings or unnecessary, like, people keep complaining about the freaking version of the Sith, of the way that Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi were like a bunch of turns without touching each other. I guess that's a little too much. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, it is, but it's cool to watch. It
was pretty cool to watch at that moment. But in here, it felt natural. It felt like it didn't feel like it was rehearsed. That's my point. Like, it didn't feel that rehearsed to make it look cool. Like, it was cool. Like, really, really good.
Yeah. It felt like a natural fight, not just not just spinning the lightsaber to make, because it's cool. That's very true. Also, where I was going back to the Khmer, when he was delivering his lines, and he's like, "Oh, you might know me as, or you might call me as Sith," and I was like, "Huh, that's interesting," because now it's confirmed that from people who have worked on the show, that he's a Sith Lord, and so he's like, I don't know, we haven't seen a Sith Lord in a really long time, but something that I saw on the internet that was really interesting is the word Sith a derogatory term that the Jedi use to call people who essentially went to the dark side. Like they made that term, that the Jedi made that term. Because when he was like, "You might call me Sith," and a lot of people, and when Soul was talking to him, he's like, "You use a Jedi weapon, but you're not a Jedi," or something like that. So it's interesting that maybe Sith is just like a derogatory term. It's just like, oh yeah, that piece of crap for this Sith.
I mean, it makes sense because, like, on this episode, episode 6, he was talking to Osha about how the force works and all that stuff, and there's a part that she's telling him like, without my training, there's no force. But he goes, "Who told you that? You have the force with you all the time. So like when you don't train, you lose the force. You're not a Jedi."
Yeah.
But when he's telling her that's not true. You still have the force. You can just do whatever you want with it, and it'll still be there. And again, that's what the quote unquote the dark side. That's the whole argument with it. So like, there's a lot of rules that the Jedi are putting in, a lot of terms and all this stuff. So like, I guess the Sith term, it will be for like a fallen Jedi. So like the this random guy, I don't know, he just came for the episode for the first time, said, who could have fallen this hard, or like what Jedi fallen this hard and could have done this work. So like, that could be like that term for that. It's like a fallen Jedi. It's like, it's a Sith.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if it's cool, but it's interesting. It's interesting.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And something that with Premiere that a lot of people have been talking about, and it's even confirmed, is that they had, towards the end of episode 5, they had the same music as they did with a Kylo Ren scene.
For Kylo Ren, yeah.
Yeah, why, like, what is going on? And the people who worked on the show, they're like, yeah, that's there on purpose. We can't tell you why, but it's there on purpose. And people are saying that he's one of the original Knights of Ren, which is essentially this lore where we now see Kylo Ren. Which is interesting to think about.
It's cool.
It's cool. Where like it has a connection to something we've seen in the past, but it's not like super connected. Not to the not a type of connection to it's like, oh, where's Yoda type of thing. That's like too connected. This is just like, oh, way down the line, you can see this connection.
Yeah, I mean, for the first, they keep saying that they're gonna talk to the High Council, and the High Council is that's where quote unquote Yoda is. So do you think they're gonna eventually show something? I mean, because they kind of showed somebody already that people were like, wait a minute, what is this guy doing here? I forgot his name. It was the guy with the weird cone head that he was 2 episodes ago. That people were flipping out, but like, this makes no sense. Why is this guy here? But this was the same guy that said there hasn't been a Sith Lord in like many years. But yet again, he told that to Yoda on either episode 1 or 2. Episode 1, I think. That's when
I think they now said that it's a different guy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. It looks the same. Makeup, design, looks the same. Yeah. I don't know. That was his dad. I don't know. So
okay. I got one thing to point out, and I haven't seen anyone talk about this. Maybe it's because there's plenty of other stuff to crap on, but here's what makes no sense to me. May, did I accidentally exit out? Oh
no, you're still here.
I thought I accidentally lost the podcast. May.
Okay.
In episode 4, she's like, I'm done. I ain't doing this no more. I'm a good girl now. I'm gonna go be with the Jedi, tell them everything, and be a good person. Whatever happened to that? Because, like, 2 seconds later, she's a bad guy again. And now she was on the Jedi thing. She tried to kill Soul in episode 6 before he was like, what are you doing? But she literally just said she was going to be good. And then she changed her mind again.
I think that was just I don't know, just like a cover. She was trying to cover her up. Like, I don't know. I don't think she actually meant it. I think she was just trying to escape or be done with Camille. Because she wanted to turn Camille in. Obviously, that didn't work out.
Well, she went to the Jedi. She was gonna go to the Wookiee Jedi, and it seemed like she wasn't gonna try and kill the Wookiee Jedi.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. Freaking waste of a character. Waste of a character. But yeah, I think that was just that. I think she was just trying to turn him in, and for her to continue her quest of killing all the four Jedis, which is only Soul now. Soul is the only one alive from the original four. I don't know. I honestly, you're the only one overthinking it. Overthinking that's the whole scenario.
It just makes no sense. She said she's gonna be good, and now she's not good. Make it make sense. Made no sense. Whatever.
That makes no sense.
Okay.
It's okay.
That's all I got to talk about the Acolyte. I got nothing else.
Yeah. Acolytes. Other than episode 5 and other than episode 5's fighting, the show has been. Look at that. I'm looking right now, and it's 20% like this TV show out of 100. So I don't know what to tell you. I have no. It's very sad. It's very sad to see a show that we both like on a franchise as big as Star Wars that is doing this poorly. And people keep complaining as either the fans don't like it, the fans are the problem, but like it's just not one person who's complaining.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people. Like today's episode, I felt like the acting between Osha and Kimir was so freaking cringe.
It was.
Like, why? Like, I know you guys have the potential to have non-cringe acting with a budget. I know you guys can either get a freaking actor, teacher type of guy that knows how to act properly and teach these people not to act so cringe. Like I feel like they're overacting.
I don't know. It could just be the script because we know Premier can act. We've seen the pieces of it, so it could just be the script.
It could be either the script, the acting, or the director. That's the only three.
It could
like
be
there's no, like the director maybe just telling them to act this way.
Yeah.
Or that's just what the actor is, or maybe the script is making them to overthink or overact or whatever. But like it's so sad. It's so sad. Whether you like the episode or the show or you don't, it's hurting a huge franchise.
It is.
It's hurting so sad.
There is review bombing. Like that's natural. It's gonna happen. But
it's gonna happen.
It's still bad.
So much.
It's still bad. I will say though, I was surprised, given in the comment section of our video, at people actually saying that they very much enjoyed the show. It's very interesting. I didn't know that there was people out there that actually really, really liked it. Which, whatever, I guess there's something for everyone, but I just thought it was interesting. Okay.
Again, they're making it for someone.
They're making it for someone, and
maybe
there's a bigger audience of people that like it than you think. Or maybe it is just that, I don't know, 20% of people that actually like it. Whatever. Okay, House of Dragons time. I don't know the theme song, but it is cool. All right. There were some big episodes here. Last one, not as big, but still pretty big. And the one before that was pretty big. So, Messi, what are your thoughts on these past two episodes?
I don't know what you keep saying, big or small. Let me tell you something about House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. Every episode is important. Stop looking for action. There's a lot of action can be done with just dialogue. And let me tell you, last episode, mic drops after mic drops. The whole Alicent and Rhaenyra last scene on last episode, it's a meme. You said it yourself.
Yeah.
It's a meme of 2024. We're getting that meme forever.
Mm-hmm.
You were glazing Aegon on his acting 2 episodes ago. Was it?
Yeah.
No, second episode. You were like, he's killing it.
Yeah.
Like, don't expect too much action. Because, again, Game of Thrones is about dialogue,
But we're getting the action next episode.
We're getting action this episode. And I'm excited to see some war, to see some dragon on dragon fighting. But this is one of my only bad thing that I'm kind of like teed off about. The freaking trailers when they drop them right after the episode, they're so freaking misleading.
They are misleading.
They show you all this stuff. They show you all this stuff, and then next episode, like 2% of the what happened showed us happens on the episode. So like, that's my only thing. Okay, but let's talk about it. Episode 2. Episode 2 was like right after the events of episode 1 with the funeral of Jaehaerys, which was a scene that every person, if you thought that the head was going to the floor, you're a bad person. You're a bad person.
I thought it was gonna happen, bro. I thought it was gonna happen.
Every person thought about it. That whoever the macer who saw that head to the body did a horrible job because that head was wobbling like a bobblehead about to fall to the floor.
Bro, I was like, the head is coming down, bro.
And it's going straight to the mud.
It's coming down. I'm surprised they even had the body there, all like sewed up. I was surprised it was there to begin with, out in the open, not even in the casket.
They had to. It was a very smart scheme from Otto. And freaking.
All right, let's talk about Otto for a second.
Bro, I feel he's a bad person.
He's a politician.
He's a politician. He knows his stuff. If he runs
he's a bad person, but he knows the stuff because he does.
If he runs president, he will run this country right. Like, don't hate the game, hate the player. I mean, no, the opposite. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, Otto, he knows his stuff.
He does.
He's a really good character. He knows his stuff. And freaking Aegon, like a freaking dumbass.
Because Aegon don't care about politics.
He don't care. He just cares about
politics.
Blood. He cares about blood. That's what he said.
And ever since his son died, he's like, I just want blood. So I just want blood. All the rat catchers, they all gone. And then now Otto's like,
idiot.
What? He's like, you're so dumb, bro. You had the upper hand. What are you doing? And then, all right, okay, let's talk about Sir Cole. I know we're jumping all over the place, but let me talk about Sir Cole for a second. No, you can talk about Sir Cole because you posted a video.
Okay.
So you can talk about Sir Cole.
Okay. You cannot go dumber.
Wait. Before you talk about him, his haircut's dumb. His haircut made him look like a dumb.
Okay. How and when did this guy have time to get a freaking haircut from one second to another scene? It makes no sense. How are you gonna tell me this guy has a freaking beautiful, dashing hair, and then 2 seconds later he has a freaking fresh ass fade? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But whatever. So dumb. I hate him. I hate Sir Kirsten Cole, since he is the biggest petty, dumbass character in the show. But we need him. We need him because he makes a show for us. Because he's so freaking dumb that we need his dumbassery.
And he's winning.
Which pisses me off even more. Because people try, and they end up in the mud. But this guy, okay, season 1. The king tells him, protect the prince. What happened 2 seconds later? The prince gets his freaking eye cut off. Nothing happens to him. Chilling and danning. Next thing, they tell him, what happened? Protect the freaking queen. He is a king's guard. He's always supposed to protect the queen. What happened? Jaehaerys gets his freaking head cut off. What happened to him? He got rewarded and given freaking the hand of the king. Freaking, he feels remorse, obviously, because it's his fault. It's his very, very damn fault that Jaehaerys that got killed. And they go, okay, let me send Sir Eric, whatever his freaking twin name is, goes to freaking Rhaenyra. Beautiful fight. Don't get me wrong, that was a beautiful fight between two brothers.
Good fight.
And it was very sad to say that I love the twins. They're very good actors. Very good chemistry between them too, and they're fighting beautiful. Sad to see that to them go.
It was so good. And then him. He literally offed himself because he quote unquote didn't do the job. Meanwhile, Sir Cole didn't do the job, and the only thing he's doing is getting off.
Freaking Freaking idiot. And then he goes, "Oh, I want to have sex with you. Let's have sex right now." With freaking Allison. And the freaking dumbest Allison just feeds him like a little puppy. "Come over here. Do me."
And now, and like, yeah, and now he's such a bottom feeder that there was like super strong sexual tension. Like she's slapping him, she's calling him dumb, whatever it is, and he's just taking it. He's the most submissive guy right now, that he's just like, I'll take it if it means I can sleep with you. But now he's got the hand of the king.
Yeah, he's the hand now. He's the second most powerful person in the show right now. Well, second to Aegon, because to Rhaenyra, he's dog water. Oh my God, Sir Christian Cole, petty. He's a petty character. Petty. I know how he dies, because obviously I know how everybody dies. I don't want to tell you, but I cannot wait. Whenever that happens. Probably season 3. I doubt he dies in season 2. Probably season 3. But, oh my God, what a...
Also, before we go into the next thing, for those out there that are listening, don't hate the actor. What's up with you hating the actor?
Yeah. Don't hate.
This isn't the first time. This isn't the first time. This happens to all the time. To all these movies and all these shows. You get a person playing
an evil
bad character. Yeah, an evil guy, and then you just start bashing the actor. At this point, if I was an actor, I wouldn't want to play a bad guy anymore. If I got offered, hey, we need you to play essentially this piece of crap guy, I'd say no. Because what's the point? So I can get hated on?
Yeah, it's very sad that people will stoop to that level. You know, like they're just doing their job. They're actors.
Do not know it's a show. Do not know it's a show.
Like, okay, I know this is like a little. Has nothing to do with House of the Dragon, but it's something similar. So I don't know if you saw that apparently they're doing a new Romeo and Juliet story with Tom Holland and this chick. I have no idea who she is, but there was a lot of memes that she looked like Predator or this guy from WWE. So like a lot of memes were occurring of her physical appearance, and it got so bad that apparently she dropped the role. Like she does nothing want to do the role no more because of the way that people were feeling towards her. Like, I don't blame her.
Yeah.
If I feel attacked that much, imagine when she would have done the movie.
Yeah. It would have been so much worse.
She got just casted. She was just casted. People nowadays have no life, no filters to when it comes to this. They're just actors. You can't change how they look or how they're portraying a character. That's their job. But like, I don't get it. I don't get it why people were actually attacked. It's all three of them. It's literally Aemon, Aegon, and Sir Cole. All three of them had to turn off their comments on their socials.
Aegon's getting hate too?
Aegon's getting hate. All three of them. All Team Green is getting hate.
I knew Aegon was getting hate because whenever he was shirtless and stuff. But I didn't know Aegon was getting hate too.
I saw all three of them. There was a post earlier. I think it was earlier this week or something like that. All three of them had to turn off their comments.
Damn.
It's sad. I don't want people to do that. But
stop doing that. If you're listening, stop doing that.
Yeah. Stop doing that. It's not that serious. It's not gonna change your life.
It's not that serious. But okay. Something that was interesting to me was, I don't know if you knew this, I don't know the Game of Thrones lore, but when did Alicent all of a sudden have a brother?
Yeah, they do that. They do this sometimes.
They just pop up? They just pop up? Like,
yeah, they don't really go into too much on stories. Think about it like this. Almost every lord has a lot of kids. Like, a lot of kids. So it's also have more than 3, 4, 5 kids. and they're not really that important until they make him important.
Until they make him important.
So like for the first season, we didn't know obviously that she had a brother, but yet again for the first season, for the half of the first season, she was a kid. So I'm guessing her brother, I'm guessing he's younger than her. I don't think they actually mentioned younger or older brother when she introduced him to Sir Cole.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like they're not. Just imagine not imagine. Just think about it like this: every person has a brother or a sister on the show. So you're not surprised whenever they do that. So like you didn't even knew that Allison has a fourth kid on Hightower over there. You didn't know that, did you? Right?
What do you mean?
But they mentioned it like 3 times. Daenerys Targaryen. They mentioned it so many times.
Oh yeah.
You gotta rewatch the show.
Let me tell you, there's been so many times in season 2. I think it's because season 1 and season 2 were just so far apart, and I didn't rewatch season 1 right before the second season came out. That there's so many times where I'm like, wait, what's the family tree here? Whose brother? Whose sister? What parent do you belong to? There's so many times where I've been so confused, and it's already confusing because like they're all family related.
Yeah.
So I've been so confused, but I've had to look it up a couple times. Be like, whose family tree is this again?
Yeah. So like there's a lot of things, and apparently, what's his name? The sea snake guy. I forgot his name. Let me see if I can look it up. Corlys. When he's in the ships, like doing stuff, and I don't know if you remember on the first episode that this random bald black guy shows up, and then apparently Corlys had to like thank him for saving him and whatever. And then like the second episode, his brother shows up. Something I don't know if you remember that. Do you remember that? Yeah. Apparently, those 2 brothers are his bastard kids.
Really?
Of Corlys. From I'm guessing before he got married to Rhaenys, or while they were married to Rhaenys. So like while he was like abroad doing something with his ships or something. I don't know. But like you don't even know who's who. Like whose kid do you belong to? Like who? Like who's your daddy type of thing. Like I get it. It's pretty hard to follow
Makes no sense.
The tree line.
Okay, but episode 4. So episode 4. I don't know anything about this whole burning mail stuff. You do. But before we get into that, I'm going to talk about the meme. The meme. Allison. And not Allison. Rhaenyra. She goes over there to go meet Allison. Pretty cool scene. Cool. They're talking. I'm like, alright, how's this going to turn out? Allison's finally reveals what happens.
The last words of the series.
Rhaenyra's like, you dumb bit. So, what I don't understand is, or not what I don't understand. My theory is, I wouldn't say my theory. What do you think how do you think we get to this war of dragons? Do you think Alicent just now has 0 power?
She does. She's a bot. She's nothing. The only
she has a little bit of power.
The power that she has, that she is the mother of the king. As soon as a new king steps forward, whoever was in charge before, that's it. They're done.
There's not going to be a new king because he's young. Aegon's young.
Well, Aegon is the king right now. Viserys, the father of Aegon, was the king, and Alicent was his queen.
Yeah.
They ruled together. But he died. Viserys died.
Yeah.
So Aegon...
But here's the thing. Alicent now knows... She
has no powers. She has no
power.
I
got this wrong. But she could convince... She can't. Aegon...
She can't. People online were saying, oh, she's in denial. But she said it herself. It's too late. It's way too late to tell Aegon, I got it wrong. You're not the king. It's just way too late. Too many things happen.
If you're Aegon, you'd be like, I'm already king.
I'm already king. I was anointed by the Septon. Like, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. This is ride or die type of thing. Like he's there, there's nobody taking him down from up there. So people will complain that she should have done something like la 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 la. She can't. She said it herself. It's too late. It's too late to stop it. She's not in denial because she knew. Her dumbass look. She goes. It's so funny. It was so funny. That whole and when she goes, oh, he told me that Aegon is the king, like he's the prince that was
the prince that was promised.
And Alicent, I mean, Rhaenyra's face, like you dumb, you dumbass.
Bro, it's gold. It's gold. It's such a funny meme.
Oh my god, that whole interaction was beautiful. Like we knew what's coming. We knew what's coming, and it was funnier than I was expected.
Yeah, but
it was
so obviously this war. So then Green has to strike first because there's no way Rhaenyra strikes first.
Okay.
Although all her people want her to.
Exactly. Every person in Rhaenyra's court want her to attack first because as of right now, they have more dragons. Yes, Aemon has Vhagar, but that's just one dragon. Multiple dragons can go against Vhagar and kill her, but they don't want to risk it because if you really you haven't seen Game of Thrones, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna watch it. If dragons go to war, ashes follows. So by what I mean by that,
that's what they kept on saying.
Exactly.
We start a dragon war, it's
the doom of everything because dragons fire for everything. Fire is a symbol of destruction. So like, as soon as those dragons start breathing fire, they're done. They're cooked. Literally cooked. They're gonna get burned.
Cooked.
But
I got one more question because I don't know if this could potentially be some Game of Thrones lore that I don't know about, but what was going on with this hallucination that Daemon was having?
Okay, so I don't know if you know, but Game of Thrones is just not about just knights and armor and kings and nothing like that. There's more to it. There's dragons, there's magic, there is a bunch of stuff. So
I didn't know there was magic.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff. There's brujeria. Literally, it's just not only about knight. This is why it makes it a fantasy book. It's not just your old timey book about knights. It's not that plain. There's a lot of stuff going on. So the theory is that there's a witch of Harrenhal, which was that girl. I don't know if you remember that when
the girl that he
Daemon,
looked at when they were eating.
She's a witch, so he could be hallucinating to everything. So maybe she did something because I don't know if you remember when he sat down, he didn't want to eat it because he thought it would be poison, but he also was drinking something. Maybe the lady put something. That's a theory that's going on around. Maybe that's not confirmed, but maybe he did something to himself that it was either not poison because I don't think it's gonna kill him, but something to make him to hallucinate. And I think she kind of like hinted that's because she said this is where you're gonna die. So I don't know if later on the season that's where his last battle is or he's gonna die there. I thought he's gonna die there because I know he dies, but I don't know, but yeah. So there's more into it. It's like I said, there's dragons because originally in the old Valyria, there's dragons and people living together, and that's how they control the dragons with magic. So like there's there's way more into it than just regular knights. But yeah, it was fun to see Amelia Alcock come back to reprise her role as Rhaenyra. I was kind of surprised. I didn't expect her to come back.
Well, they said she was gonna be, but I was like, how? Like you can only do it through a flashback. But they actually didn't even do it through a flashback. They did it through a hallucination.
Yeah, so I was kind of surprised to see her, to see her back. I wonder if they bring any other actors back. Again, it will be only to a hallucination or a flashback.
Yeah. But one more thing is, I don't know if people know out there know, but they confirmed that the 3 dragon eggs are Daenerys's dragons, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's a theory that I don't. There's 4 dragons. There's 4 eggs right there.
No, those 3.
No, there's 4. Look
Was
at
it
it
4?
again.
I thought it was
There's
3.
4. There's 4 eggs. Where's the 4th egg? And why do eggs last that long?
That's what I was. That's what I was thinking when I heard that. I was like, "You're telling me these dragon eggs be lasting that long? In egg format? Like this isn't like
You think
from conception to whenever it happens. This is from egg to whenever they break out of the egg. That's a long time.
It's a long time, especially when the House of Dragon takes 200 years before Daenerys. So like,
and they're not big dragons. Whenever we see them with Daenerys, they're small.
well, yeah, because they go from baby to big.
Yeah.
So
So that means they would have just recently hatched.
on the show, yeah. So when she gets the eggs, when Daenerys gets the eggs, they're eggs. She doesn't get them dragons already. So because they think because it's been years since they saw a dragon alive, that there was no more dragons. So like seeing eggs is like, okay, it's just a trophy to have just showing off in your house that you have dragon eggs. And
So
later in the
they
season,
didn't even know that it was good that there was dragons. In
exactly, they didn't know that. So later on the season, she's burying her husband, and the way that they bury people back in the day was with fire. They would just they wrapped the body in the fire. So she threw herself in the fire with the eggs, and then she comes back unburnt and win all 3 eggs. That's where all the mother of the dragons. She is the Targaryen that doesn't get burnt. So because the Targaryens believe she didn't get burned. Yeah. So the Targaryens believe because they are like the dragon riders or whatever. Their blood is like the dragons and they don't get burnt. That's their mythology or whatever. But that's not true. They're humans. They're not above nobody. But Daenerys is. She doesn't get burnt. She doesn't get nothing. She comes out like nothing happened to her. So
why does Daenerys not get burnt?
Magic. I don't know. There's something into it. I have to look into it. But yeah. So that's how she gets her dragons. But the weird thing for me is that her dragon by the end of Game of Thrones is the same size as Rhaenyra's dragon on this show. Yeah. Again, the Rhaenyra's dragon is way, way, way older than Drogon was at the end of Game of Thrones. So they're saying like in the books, Syrax, I think that's the name of Rhaenyra's dragon, is like 8 times bigger than Drogon was at the end of Game of Thrones. So someone got it wrong. Either they're making Syrax smaller.
Books couldn't have gotten it wrong.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like either House of Dragons getting it wrong on the size of Syrax, or Game of Thrones is getting it put way too much, too many feet on Drogon.
That's probably what happened. They made it too big, and they're like, "Frick, we can't make the dragon 8 times bigger than this."
Yeah.
Okay.
But
do you have anything else in House of Dragons?
I don't know. You asked about the burning mill. That was just the battle. I don't know if you remember in the beginning of the episode that there was there's 2 different families.
But is that not like Game of Thrones lore or something like that?
No, that's actually this lore because that's old. This is prequel stuff. Game of Thrones, they don't even talk about that.
I thought I thought it was some sort of Game of Thrones lore that they like.
No, this is now. Remember, Game of Thrones is the future. So remember, everything that's happening here now is a now thing.
Well, it's pretty crazy that there was. I mean, everybody died.
That's a lot of deaths, people.
That was a hinting of what's to come with the Dragon War. That was pretty interesting. But yeah. So House of Dragons, Acolyte, Mobile News, different stuff that happened. And
a lot of stuff happened.
Next time we'll be talking, Acolyte will be done. Thankfully. And we'll still have the Dragon War will start. So we'll talk about that. Yeah. I already put in the plug. You know where to find us. So
Yeah, so follow us on Unqualified Heroes, look us up and all that stuff. You know the DU. But Quiet Place movie came out, pretty good. Go watch it. Danny made a review. I'm not gonna be talking too much about it, but
go like the video.
watch it.
Cat
I don't know if you
has
saw.
the biggest plot armor of all time.
Literally, that cat. Hate the cat. There's a video game about the Quiet Place. Looks pretty cool. But I don't know. Quiet Place was a pretty good movie. Go watch it. Pretty good. Yeah. So Unqualified
And that's all we
Heroes.
got. Unqualified Heroes!